Hey guys, welcome to today's video where I will be mostly talking about the, self-destruction that Call of Duty has done to itself and its fan base, solely based on lack of creativity and the amount of content that they reuse every single year. I think since probably Modern Warfare 2 um, that released, I think 2021, I believe. I mean, somewhere around that time. And then I'll mostly also just be comparing them to where Battlefield is now. In comparison to games. Starting the first point, I would probably say gameplay and probably the whole hacking situation. I don't really understand where Call of Duty what their mindset is about their whole Ricochet, anti-hacking program. I really don't know what the devs are doing over there at Activision. I mean, you really have a lack of communication other than your patch notes that say, oh, we've increased our security for anti cheat system. When in reality, I mean, I personally know of several discords that do really well made hacks on Call of Duty for PC. Not that I play Call of Duty, but obviously I keep up with everything. um, I think it's just so disheartening as a player, especially for somebody like myself who's been supporting the franchise since I was like 10 years old. I mean, I've been playing since COD 4, Modern Warfare, and I even competed for a decent amount of time in the whole competitive scene. And then fast forward to now, I mean, I don't even look forward to the new games anymore. I mean, obviously it's fun, it's refreshing for kids that are getting the games for Christmas, and the people that still have false hope that it will be different this year. When in reality, it's just gonna be the same thing. And I'm not trying to blame anybody specifically, but I think that having a lack of a really good anti-cheat really ruins the game for a lot of people. Obviously, if you're in the competitive scene, that's always going to be, around. I think that's always going to be more supported than the average player. I mean, the average player gets on, wants to play 1 or 2 hours, maybe if that. Um, Whereas, I mean, the really dedicated player who is trying to make a name for themselves in the Call of Duty League, I mean, they're playing 8-9 hours a day. So they're obviously, we're not talking about those players. We're just talking about players like myself who want to go on the game with some friends, play some public matches, but then run into cheaters. I mean, the fact that there were already cheaters and hackers during the open beta for Black Ops 7 really just goes to show that they really don't care, and it's just another money grab, the same thing over and over again, and players are feeding into that. I mean, now imagine if players did what they did, for example, completely different game, but the same concept is for Madden, right? People were complaining so much, where it got to the point where people literally said, we're not going to get the new Madden until it changes, because they were doing the same thing. Ultimate Team was their bread and butter. They banked off that, but they fixed it for who knows how long, and then slowly they're just reverting back to it. So, but in that little small, hope that people had, the fact that they changed goes to show that, okay, maybe there is some hope. But with Activision, I mean, we really don't know where they're going to be going, which road they're going to go down. So I think if they fix that and implement, whether it's BattlEye, I mean, look at Battlefield 6. I mean, there's no way you can cheat. I mean, I'm sure there is a way, but the fact that you have to have safe boot on, and for Call of Duty you don't. I mean, just within those two things alone makes me want to play Battlefield 6, knowing that there's a very small chance that I will run into a cheater. Whereas if I go to Call of Duty and I play ranked play, I know there's probably maybe, I'd say an 85 to 90% chance that I will run into a cheater. Whereas Battlefield 6, there's like 80%, maybe even 90% chance I'm not gonna run into a cheater. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I think starting, what they need to focus on is just, start at the core and make a really solid anti-cheat system where players are happy and they're not complaining. I mean, the whole community complains all the time. Obviously, they say every year, they say, "Oh, we hear you guys," and they don't hear us. I mean, that's just, for giving us false hope. And I'm not trying to say that they're a terrible company. I mean, I'm sure there are developers that still care for the Call of Duty franchise, but I think it really comes from up above. I think that's where the issue lies, and unfortunately, we can't do anything other than take action. I mean, it doesn't help if people keep buying their games every single year on launch day or pre-order because they get like a special skin. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, is the skin really worth kind of giving them the idea that we're okay with what they're putting out? I mean, it shouldn't be. I mean, Battlefield 6, yes, you could say the same thing. If you pre-order the Phantom Edition, you got these cool skins, but at the same time, they have a really good anti-cheat. I mean, at least right now. They have good gameplay. They're listening to the community. They have a lot of content. I mean, I think what they're doing overall compared to Call of Duty is a night and day difference as of right now. Obviously, things can change. Battlefield could revert to how they used to be and not really listening to their player base. But right now, if they fix, what they're doing, I can actually, relatively say that they have a better chance of being a better franchise for a first-person shooter for the next year, and hopefully many years to come, than Call of Duty. Yes, it's not easy. It's a completely different game, bigger maps, bigger modes. I understand that. But with the release of RedSec, I mean, that's the second point I want to get into. The fact that you have a battle royale that has been out since 2020, 2019, around COVID, and you have a new battle royale, and the fact that that's almost polished and a lot more fun than Warzone is actually not a good thing for any community and any battle royale, whatever, however you want to look at it. I mean, there's cheaters in Warzone. That's the number one problem. Two, it's almost the same thing over and over because there's no, for example, helicopters, tanks. I mean, there's not enough of those things in Warzone, which really make moments for people, which I think a lot of the player base, like myself, are probably anywhere from 20 to 30 years old. They don't have time to, wait for a cool moment to share with their friends for 4 to 5 hours. If they can make a memory they can remember for, the next 6 months within 1 hour, I think that's what most people like myself care about. I mean, I think I've had way more funny experiences, cinematic, movie-like experiences in their own battle royale from Battlefield 6 than I have ever in Warzone. I mean, yes, when Warzone first came out, I think that was probably its peak, and then it's kind of dwindled down to where it is right now. I mean, yes, they've kind of, hinted at bringing back Blackout, which was amazing, which they should have never, done away with, but, we move forward. So, I think that's a second big thing. I mean, if Battlefield 6 can kind of really maintain this momentum they have going on with their own BR, I think it would be phenomenal. I mean, not only for them, but I think for Call of Duty, you know, when they see that, you know, hey, we actually have a competitor. We have a another battle royale that's actually taking players from our own, you know, you know, battle royale, which would be Warzone in this case. And I think that's what a lot of companies don't do. They don't take the risk because they feel like there's not going to be a reward. And in this case, there has been a reward. I truly believe for Battlefield 6. So um, I think the third thing I want to talk about, and I'll probably end it here, just because I think the biggest thing too is microtransactions. Yes, both games have it. I'm not a fan of either, but I think the fact that Call of Duty is overcharging for skins that have nothing to do with their game and the era that the game is in blows my mind. Yes, Fortnite is doing their own thing, but that's why Fortnite is excelling, because it makes sense in that game. It's not, you know, based on, let's say, the Cold War. It's not based on, you know, Vietnam. It's its own entity. And I think that Fortnite does it so well because everybody knows that it's not supposed to be based on a time, on like a era, so they're okay with it. But then you have Call of Duty, for example, Black Ops 6. I don't understand why they would have, let's say for example, Squid Game. Yes, it's super popular at the moment, but then you have unicorns, and then you have Nicki Minaj, and yes, I understand the whole concept of bringing in money for the company, but this really isn't the way to do it. And yes, you can say the same for Battlefield 6, but the thing is, it makes sense because they have actual, you know, really cool skins, like, let's say, I think it's like the Midnight Spectral skin bundle they have right now in store, and it fits what Battlefield 6 is all about. I mean, you have, you know, a soldier with a mask with night vision goggles, and it fits the game. When you have something like Rick and Morty or Nicki Minaj in a era where it's futuristic or it's a modern shooter, it does not make sense. And I think a lot of people around, you know, mid-20s and up above, they kind of, they're lost for words. I mean, yes, if you're a kid 16, 17, 18, it's cool. Obviously, you know, you're with your group of friends and you want to compete all who has a cooler skin. But, you know, as somebody like myself, if I want to spend $20 on, you know, a skin for Nicki Minaj or Rick and Morty, I might as well just go back to Fortnite, because it makes way more sense and it's more fun to play with a skin like that on that game than it is in Call of Duty. It might not make sense to some of you guys, but in like a real true perspective, if you can just see what I'm talking about, is it just doesn't fit what the game is supposed to be. And I know, I mean, I think you can have your arguments that, you know, well, how can you compare, you know, Battlefield 6 with Call of Duty when, you know, Call of Duty is doing the same thing or Battlefield doing the same thing? I mean, yes, I agree, but you can always disagree as well. I mean, I think Call of Duty just needs to stick with specific skins and not really rely on collaborations. I think that's their mistake. The same thing for Battlefield 6. I hope they don't have a collaboration like they did from 2042 with, I think it was Dead Space. I mean, yes, it's cool. It's not like really out there, but it doesn't make sense at all. I guess you can say it does because it's futuristic, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just my take on it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I probably didn't make sense towards the end, but I mean, I think for somebody who loved Call of Duty at one point so much, it just hurts to see where they're going. I mean, of course, I always have hope, but, you know, I am truly having fun with Battlefield 6, and hats off to EA for really putting out a game and listening to their community. I think myself, all of my friends that I play with, they're super happy. We're excited to play with each other. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts or wish I would have kind of covered on another aspect of the two games, or what I should have said, what I shouldn't have said. Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.